Hi guys, Chris Upson here. Hey, I wanted to send a 5 to 10 minute video, kind of talk about my background a little bit more, and try to add some clarity to what's happening right now with the class and what your next assignments are. Um, so how the 10 core talents of resourceful performance, I spent quite a bit of time, 4 years at West Point, and I spent 5 years in the Army. I got out of the Army and I was planning to be a superstar. And for some reason, I knew that I had world-class leadership training, and yet somehow it wasn't quite working for me. So I started to get my MBA, and I went through a leadership development program through the Army Corps of Engineers, where I worked when I got out of the Army. And kind of my odyssey, if you will, was I was really trying to figure out how to translate the leadership training that I'd had and experiences that I'd had in the military to the civilian world and try to be more successful. So that led me to get an MBA degree, led me to Headland's class, led me to the 10 core talents of resourceful performance. The model itself really made good sense to me. I'm an engineer. It's complicated. I can do complicated. I don't believe that there are three things that make great leadership. I do think that it's complicated. I do think that it's situational. And so it spoke to me and really was useful to me in the various jobs that I've had since I got my MBA. And currently Director of Operations for the school district, which is wildly complicated. And I can promise you that every day that goes by, I think about the model and I think about what I ought to be doing and what needs to be happening to get there. So, what are we doing right now? We're reading, we're consuming information, and we're working on a paper. Your first paper, your Odyssey paper. The point of the paper is good communication. We're writing written communication. It is also to take the leadership classics, the articles from the leadership classics, match up the things in those articles that resonate with you, that make sense with you, tie those to components of the model in the Odyssey phase, which is the bottom part of the model, bottom part down here, and this is backwards for you, but bottom part down here. And then what does it mean for you? So the Odyssey phase is all about you. There's no team yet. It's just you and how you lead yourself. So that's the first component of leadership, is how does one lead themselves. So the first components are trustworthiness, yoga whippy, you only get out what you put in, and plan, do, check, act, PDCA. Those are the three components. You read the articles. I can promise you that Dr. Headland read a lot in setting up this model during his PhD work. Lots and lots. What's on the model, it comes from all kinds of different places. It's been consolidated down. So I promise you that there are correlations between the leadership classics articles and the model. Basics of the model. The model is kind of like, I consider it a framework, a playbook, what to do next book. That's kind of how I look at it. It always all fits, but you don't always use all of it. So one of the things that I love about it is that it really breaks down what are the components of leadership. Components are people on the credibility continuum. It's always all about people. So we've got the credibility continuum. Then we got what we do in the middle, and that is the performance side. And then how we do it is on the system side over here. So you got the people, what they do, and how they do it. The tool belt. The tool belt are tools, and when we say tools, we mean tools like brainstorming is a tool. When we say tools, we mean that's exactly what they are, tools, but they fit inside the performance. So all your 10 core talents in here have tools that are associated with them that you can use when you're working on those. And then what we do is how we learn as an organization. And that's over there on the learning scale on the right. And you're going to be studying this. The whole class is built around this model. The model is important. The class project follows the model. So you're going to be learning about the model, reading about the model for the whole quarter. First part, first paper, Odyssey, the bottom three, trustworthy, yoga whippy, and the plan, do, check, act cycle. So first thing, understand what they are, understand why they're important, and for this you go to the white papers that are out that Paul's published. So read the white papers, that'll get you there. Leadership classics, for articles and things that resonate with you as pertains to trustworthiness, you only get out what you put in, and the plan, do, check, act cycle. And then what is your Odyssey? What are you challenging yourself to do and do better? And all those get lumped together, and those are little nuggets. As you write your paper, those become your thesis points. Now I would ask for questions, but it's a video that you're watching, so bear with me. I'm learning this online business along with Paul. Paul's been doing it a little bit longer. So that's the gist of the paper. And I've been teaching this with Paul for several years, sometimes online. Most of it's been off, in the classroom stuff. Where I find that I fit best in helping you all learn what you need to learn and be successful is I help you with getting your thoughts down on paper. I can do that, but I can't do it at the 11th hour. So as you get your outlines done, you send them to me, and I will help you through putting these things together. I'm a firm believer that I can sit down and bang out a paper just like anybody else. When you're trying to do something meaningful, the outline really, really helps. And so getting those thoughts down, the quotes that you're going to look for, that you want, getting them down, that's real easy for me to help you. It's a lot harder for me to read a 4 or 5 page paper ahead of time and give you decent feedback, because we're going to be doing that on your final paper. So we can work on grammar and spelling and all those things, but we've got to get the right information in there. So I'm happy to help you. Email me outlines. I'll help you. Email me questions. If you have questions about the components of the model, leadership classics, whatever, email me. 24-hour turnaround, I ask. I'm as many of you are, I'm a professional and have a job. So I'll be checking the email and working that, every night. So give me at least 24 hours, or give me 24 hours max as a turnaround to help you. Please use my Gmail, upsonkk@gmail.com. I have too many emails, and I don't use the KWU one. I use the Gmail one, as many of you do. Okay, that's me. That's kind of how the model spoke to me. I use it still to this day. We're going to be doing this the whole 9 weeks, looking at 8 weeks rather, looking at this model. Ask questions, because we're going to get deep into it, and you'll see the complexity of it. For right now, we're at the bottom of the model. Trustworthy, you only get out what you put in, yoga whippy, and the plan, do, check, act cycle. But you got to read all the documents to kind of put all that together. Okay, thanks.